I'll set my timer.
Hello, all you beautiful people out there, and welcome to my channel. And I did have to put this off for 15 minutes, so thank you so much for bearing with me. Um, okay, so today's topic of Atheist Church is speaking in tongues is crazy. Yes, sirree, bud. I do have some videos on speaking in tongues. Um, I'll go. I if you really want to understand where this comes from, you need to go watch those videos. But I will give you a rundown, not exactly of where this idiotic idea comes from, but I'll give you like a basic rundown of what speaking in tongues is. However, I've got a real treat for you because Holy Kool-Aid had a caption contest for speaking in tongues. He was doing an episode on speaking in tongues, and Prophet of Zod, uh, he entered into that contest, and he put a video up about the entry into the contest. Um, and so, I just wanted to share it with you. I won't share all of it, uh, but it is pretty funny. Um, just so you know. Um, Hang on. Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna mute myself because these things echo if I don't mute myself. So I'm gonna mute myself.
Doesn't matter what they think. Ooh, no more dias da pagaliado. Oh, le bevedia pashodopre. In a man, no moko lombon jemba. Pangala, my head, HD scap. Bol bum in a maya, Bama don't go more. Helemaal bij kijk hiermee pinste. Kam framma. Vägrede. Sukorne me imbramban jungolo siepe. En a masukore de estekeya. En a me fiesto po. En a mamamoro vieste. En a manjugora televia.
So that is speaking in tongues, and yeah, it's as crazy as it sounds. All right. So, what is speaking in tongues? Well, the Christians who speak in tongues, by the way, it's not just a Christian phenomenon. Other religions have this speaking in tongues too, but it seems to be more Christians that do it. Don't know why. But, just to let you know, Christianity borrowed everything from other religions. It has nothing new under the sun. So, not even the dying and rising God is a new concept to Christianity. Wow, Lisa. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is. And actually, that's a good segue, Marianne. Um, because there are two types of um, speaking in tongues, um, if you want to call it that. One is called xenolalia. This is the only one that is this is the only one that is actually recognized. Xenolalia just means speaking another language than um, your native language. Okay, that's all it is. It's just um, it's a xenolalia is speaking in um, legitimate languages that just happen not to be your mother tongue. So that's the only one that carries any weight. The second one is the crazy one, which is what these people are doing. And that is called glossolalia. And glossolalia is gibberish. Like Marianne said, it's gobbledygook. I mean, it makes no sense. Okay, some neuroscientists have studied this. Okay, and when they put people in an fMRI and ask them to speak in tongues, they're not using their language center. They're at most people's language centers in their left brain, if they are left brain individuals, which most people are left brain individuals, or predominantly left brain, I should say. Thank you, Big Zebra. So, so there are right-brained individuals, but the majority of the human population are predominantly left-brained. So, and it generally has to do with what hand you write with. If you're right-handed, you're going to be predominantly left-brained. And if you're left-handed, you're going to be predominantly right-brained. That is correct, Big Zebra. And also Wernicke's area. I might do an episode when I can actually do my edited content again. I might do an episode about Broca's area and Wernicke's area. Quite interesting, and it ties into the xenolalia and the glossolalia. But you know, anyway, moving on. Yeah, quick overview of Broca's and Wernicke's areas. Broca's area is a lot closer to the motor cortex, and people who have damage in Broca's area are going to be aphasic, meaning they can't get their words out in a flowing manner, like I'm doing right now. I'm speaking in a flowing manner. Well, people with Broca's area damage are not going to be able to get their words out um, it, in a flowing manner. They're coherent, okay. You can understand them. You're just going to have to be patient with them, okay. Wernicke's area, if somebody has damage to Wernicke's area, they're going to have what's called fluent aphasia, which basically means they can speak fluently like I'm speaking right now, but they're not going to make any sense. So that's the difference between Wernicke's aphasia and Broca's aphasia, basically. Yes, Lisa, exactly. Yeah, that is the correct spelling, Big Zebra. Um, the dude was German, which is why it's pronounced with a V. So anyway, so but uh, for people who are predominantly left-brained, when they use glossolalia, they are mainly using their right brain, not their left brain. And they when they're doing these studies, they don't really want to mix left-brained individuals and right-brained individuals because that messes up the study. So they're going to ask about handedness. So anyway, so yeah, I mean, it's just a bunch of nonsense syllables. And another thing about glossolalia is glossolalia for English speakers is going to be different than glossolalia for Afrikaans speakers, okay? And again, you're going to have to go to my video on this because it's really, in depth. But basically, when you use glossolalia, you're using phonemes from your mother language. And phonemes are just like, I guess you could call them atoms of speech. They're the phonemes are uh, the building blocks. Um, you basically it's like uh, this is the least we can get. Like a prefix would be a phoneme, and a suffix would be a phoneme. Anyway, getting really technical here, and I don't need to do that. But people who are glossolalic use the phonemes from their mother tongue. So if this was really the language of angels, the tongues of angels, like these people say, right? Um, uh, an English speaker would be able to understand an Afrikaans speaker, and vice versa. Because if this was really the tongues of angels, right, then it would be universal, but it's not. Fun fact. So if you ever hear somebody speaking in tongues, you can say, cut that shit out. It's not real. I mean, it is real, but not really, if that makes any sense. So, yeah, somebody started speaking in tongues around me, I'd be like, shut the fuck up. You know, get a reality check, people. Limited light. Sorry, I missed what you, well, wait a minute. What did you use to teach? Sorry, what did you use to teach? So, anyway, so that's basically a rundown of speaking in tongues. Um, like I said, I do have videos on this. So they're my earlier videos. So you might want to go check those out. Um, anyway, so I don't know when I'll be bringing back edited videos. Um, I'll have to do it when my arm can handle um, weight, of course, and of course that I can move my wrist. That's obvious. Um, so I don't know when that's going to happen. Um, channel announcement. Lloyd Evans is going to be on my channel sometime this week. If you don't know, yes, Big Zebra, I am. Thank you very much. So, so if you don't know who Lloyd Evans is, Marianne does. Uh, Lloyd Evans is an ex-JW activist. So, his old channel name was John Cedars, but then the elders got hold of his videos under the John Cedars name, and they disfellowshipped him because he was speaking out against the organization. And I also have a series on Jehovah's Witnesses if you want to go watch it. But they don't like people speaking out against the organization. They are a cult. So Lloyd Evans will be on my channel sometime this week. We haven't quite figured out when. He lives in Croatia, which is halfway around the world. So we are going to have to figure out when we can do it. But that will be sometime this week. So just look out on my channel for that. So I did have a doctor's appointment on Friday, but I had to cancel it because I had a migraine. So I will be calling tomorrow to reschedule my appointment. Oh, okay, cool. I did not know that. Good for you, Limited Light. You know, I have a lot of I was able to quickly pick up uh trigonometry, algebra, um pretty much any lower order math, but calculus just stumped me. I mean, I have my book. I still have my book from college, you know. I got mad because when I tried to return it, they wouldn't give me a full refund. They would only buy it back for me. I'm like, fuck that. You know, I'm just going to keep it because I might be able to teach myself some calculus. I still haven't done that yet. Um, but anyway. Oh, I'm sorry, Lisa. I hope she's uh I hope she's recovering okay. Yeah, I know. You know, um I broke my femur. Well, to be technically correct about it, I got ran over and that dumbass broke my femur for me. And I it took over a year for me to recover from that, literally. Um And I'm here to tell you, I would rather have one leg than one arm. It might not be such a bad thing if it was my left arm, but it's my right arm. And I predominantly write with my right hand. I mean, I can print with my left hand, but it's messy and like nobody can read it. When I was in the hospital for my surgery, they were like, can you sign? And I'm like, well, I've never actually tried to sign with my left hand. And they're like, well, can you do your initials? And I'm like, well, I can try. So that was the first time I ever tried writing with my left hand, and it was just my initials, right? But I was actually surprised. I could do it, you know. So I am a bit ambidextrous because I can print with my left hand. And interestingly enough, I play sports with my left hand. I play sports with my left hand. Can't play sports with my right hand. Not that I play sports all that much, but I can't really play sports with my right hand. But I am, I can play sports with my left hand. I know it's weird, but Big Zebra, it was a day surgery, but they took me to the hospital because of my seizures, because they have better um, resuscitation equipment in hospitals. Um, what Big Zebra that I play sports with my left hand? Yeah, I know. It's crazy, isn't it? But now that I know that I can write with my right hand or with my left hand, I might be practicing that, you know, since I already know I can print with my left hand. That is very true. That is very true. So anyway, but yeah, so that's the skivvy on speaking in tongues. And like I said, I do have some videos on speaking in tongues. Um, it's a crazy ass practice, but most of the people who speak in tongues also practice handling snakes, which is also a crazy ass practice. And not everybody who speaks in tongues is going to handle snakes. Okay. Um, just, there's different kinds of Pentecostals out there. You know, some speak in tongues and handle snakes, some just speak in tongues. However, I can tell you that I have never run across a Pentecostal who handles snakes and does not speak in tongues. So, anyway, but it was a day surgery, and, I came out and they sent me home. Um, Probably a lot of it had to do with, the what's going on in the world right now, if you get my drift. But a lot of it has to do with the fact that if they can do a day surgery, they generally don't want to keep you in the hospital because you can get what are called nosocomial infections, which are just basically hospital acquired infections, and then it's going to slow your recovery. And they've also, even bypassing nosocomial infections, they have found through scientific studies that people recover better at home. Hey, Dr. Osiris, what's up, dude? So, anyway, um, so that's why they try between nosocomial infections and and just recovering better at home. That's why they try their very best to do day surgeries when they can. And they also try to limit your hospital stay. I mean, it doesn't really have anything to do with insurance. Sometimes, yes, sometimes insurance can be a bitch, but it doesn't really have that much to do with insurance, because if a doctor is going to say no, you need to stay in the hospital, not much an insurance company can do about that, you know. I mean, yeah, they have their own doctors, and their own doctors are going to fight it tooth and nail, but but for the most part, if a doctor says you have to stay in the hospital, they're not really gonna bitch too much about that, you know. Um, so it's more about the nosocomial infections and the recovering better at home, even accounting for nosocomial infections. So they usually only do hospital stays if you need like pain medicine, like a morphine drip, or if you're in a coma, obviously you need to stay in the hospital, or you know um if you've had a concussion. So uh you know so that's basically why they do it. So when you have like a day surgery, they're your doctors are pretty much looking out for you. you know um They're not just doing a day surgery because they don't want you in the hospital. Um, they're pretty much doing day surgery because of those two things that I brought up. So anyway, um, but yeah, go check out my videos on speaking in tongues. It's like crazy, you know. I may do a video. I may do an atheist church on taking up serpents, which is what the Pentecostals call snake handling. I may do something like that. If you're interested in an atheist church on that, uh, let me know in the side chat or write it in the comments. You know, okay. Uh, so anyway, I will get off now. Now that I've wasted half your time on hospitals and nosocomial infections and not what, you know, speaking in tongues. But I mean, come on, really. Speaking in tongues is like crazy. I mean, people who do not speak in tongues are pretty much all agreed that speaking in tongues, glossolalia, is crazy. Yeah, it'll be live, Marianne. It'll be live. Okay, Cryptomaria. Then I'll do that. I'll do an atheist church on snake handling. That's even crazier than speaking in tongues. Because at least when you're speaking in tongues, uh, you generally don't have a chance of dying. But when you handle snakes, and they're always venomous snakes, I don't know why. I have no fucking clue why they handle venomous snakes, but they do. They're always venomous snakes, and people die from that shit. I have no idea why they do it. They know they can die. They've seen people die, and they still do it. So anyway, I think I'm gonna go. thank you so much for bearing with me with having to change my start time from 4 o'clock to 4:15. Uh, if you like this, please hit the like button. If you like this kind of content, hit the subscribe button. If you would like to join this channel for as low as 99 cents a month, you get custom emojis, and I'm going to be doing a members only live stream sometime soon. I still haven't hammered that one out yet. But anyway, but yeah, um, so I will see you guys later, and you have a wonderful rest of your day. And talk to you soon. Bye.